So this is day one of marathon training. Goal with this is really I just wanted to document my process as I go through a marathon prep. I'm going to document the day-to-day journey, and we'll see what happens. So this is day one. It's February 19th. It's a Monday. So the training plan that I'm following actually doesn't have me doing a run today. Just kind of the rhythm that I'm starting in. I think I'm starting on week 3 because it's a 20-week plan, and the race I'm wanting to do is 18 weeks out. So this Monday, no run today. So I'm at LA Fitness. I'm going to do a little bit of a lift. But really, throughout this marathon prep, I'll continue to lift probably 2 to 4 days a week just to kind of try to maintain as much as I can, and that's the goal there. So I don't know how much I'll film when I'm in here, but yeah, just gonna try to document some of this. When I set my phone sideways, the side button clicks and then it stops the video. So if there's a way to make that not happen, I'm gonna need to figure that out. But workout complete, didn't film much of it. I filmed literally my pull-ups and push-ups, so that's about it. I did some rower to start, and then I did cable rows, barbell bench press, shoulder press, curls, and then pull-ups, push-ups. So, I mean, not too much, just kind of full upper body. Got a lot of movement in each of the muscles, so nothing too crazy, but I will catch you tomorrow on my run. All right, so for lunch today, we are going to be having ground turkey. I think it's ground turkey. It's either ground turkey or ground chicken. I'll double check on that. With just some jasmine rice in a little bowl here. You can see sprinkled some soy sauce on the jasmine rice, and then I'm gonna probably half this ground beef, have half of it now, half of it later. But very simple lunch. Oh, we're also adding in this avocado. So ground beef, avocado, rice, some nice pre-run fuel. All right, we're about to go on the first run of this marathon prep. Today's run is a little bit over a 6-mile run. We're gonna do a 2-mile warm up. And then I think we have 6 sets of some intervals, and then we're gonna finish with a 2-mile cool down. The intervals today are gonna be, I think it's a 300 meter at 10K pace, 30 seconds rest in between that, and then 300 meter at marathon pace, and then 90 seconds rest between those sets. We'll do that 6 times. We're supposed to do uphill and downhill, but I want to go run outside, and it's pretty flat where I'm about to run, so we're just going to run on a flat course. But that's the plan for today, day one of the marathon training. I'm currently following the marathon plan straight off of the Boston Marathon website. And so I'm going to mix that with another plan that I found on Runner's World, and we're going to kind of mix and match those between, but we'll talk about that after this run. Also, fuel for this run. I'm currently out of all of my liquid fuel, so pretty much just going to be drinking water, and then we have a ton of different types of like goos in these goo chews here, so we're going to be rocking the chews today. I prefer something that I can sip on, but we're going to have to do with what we have for today. All right, run complete. Ran about 6.65 miles. Put my stats up on the screen here. Not going to lie, it was a rough one. I was exhausted, so I went to Foxtrot and picked up a coconut water and this local weather drink, Mind and Body Sports drink. So pretty good, sipping on the local weather now, but needed to rehydrate after that run. All right, so I'm gonna do a little bit of a analysis of that run, kind of break it down a little bit, and then I'm gonna break down what I think my training plan is gonna look like. We're gonna kind of show you the day-to-day, what I'm gonna be doing and the why behind it, and we'll go from there. All right, so breaking down that run, kind of just wanna show a little bit like my thought process behind a run like that. So this is the first run of the training block. Calls for 6 to 7 miles in total for the day. So I would say first things first, when I see that, I'm not going to be married to I have to do the maximum 7 miles. I'm also not going to always do the minimum. I'm going to more so go off of how I feel for the day, which I think is a large part of training, is just kind of following your body and what you feel like you can actually do for the day, and get good work out of. So the actual training block of the workout was a 2 to 3 mile warm up, and then you had 6 repeats of an interval, and then a 2 mile cool down. So really just wanted to break down how I view it here in this little section, if this even remotely makes sense. But so you'll start out, the first 2 miles is going to be a easy pace. So for me, I do 180 minus my age, which is the Maffetone method. And so with that, I'll just kind of gauge my heart rate as I'm in that warm up, get my legs loose, see how I'm feeling. Really just want to try to figure out if I'm going to be able to push it today or going to have to make it a little bit of an easier one. And so that's the initial warm up, and then the actual interval session. So I had 300 meters at a 10K pace, 30 seconds off, 300 meters at marathon pace, 90 seconds off, and then repeat that 6 times. So with your 10K pace, that's going to be a little bit faster than your marathon pace. For me today, I didn't track too closely exactly where I was in that pace range. I more so went off of feel. So for that first session, for the first interval, I went a little bit quicker than I did for the second interval, and I just kind of kept that pace for the whole time. I'm not gonna lie, my legs were dragging today. So it was a slower pace than probably what I wanted to hit, but this was the first interval run of the training. So I'm not surprised that I felt like this, but I was hitting somewhere between a 6:30 to a 7 minute per mile pace on the 10K, and then probably 7 to 7:30 on the marathon pace. And then the 2 mile easy is the same thing as when you started, 180 minus your age. So I would say, like, depending on how you feel for the day, I wouldn't be overly married to making sure that you're like extremely hitting every single aspect of this workout perfectly. I think it's more so about completing it. So yeah, that is a little bit of a breakdown for the run of today. Okay, I want to make sure it's recording. Okay, we're recording. One thing I've learned with this iPhone is half the time I set it down sideways and it hits the volume button and stops recording. So, got to confirm before we get started. So, wanted to break down my plan for this marathon. So, I'll be honest, I guess just a little quick recap. I've done a few marathons. I did probably 2 years ago. Oh gosh, it might have been 3 years ago now. I did the Kiowa Marathon. Really was running like 15 to 20 miles a week, somewhere in that range. And so that was a 4:16 marathon. Not gonna lie, I struggle busted my way through that one. It was a tough one, but it was rewarding because it was the first marathon. And then a year later, I did my second marathon in Dallas, and so that was a 3:43 marathon. And then this past December, I did a marathon in Dallas again, exactly a year later from my previous one. And I straight up did not train for this one. I pretty much did somewhere in the range of 10 to 15 miles a week. And so I struggled through that one as well, a 4:06 mile. So it's going to be a little bit of a long shot. I'm technically cutting 43 minutes off of my fastest pace to try to do this sub 3, but I don't know. That's why I want to document it, and that's why I want to just see how close I can get. And if not this marathon, then, maybe one close after it. So that's kind of my thought process there. But breaking down my training plan, essentially, I'm following the training plan directly off of Boston Marathon's website. Essentially, this is their level 4 training plan. It's a 20-week training plan. The marathon I'm targeting to do is 18 weeks out, so I'm starting in week 3 of this training plan. There's a 3-week prep phase, so I'll start in that last week of the prep phase. And essentially, a week in the prep phase looks like this. So yesterday was Monday, we were off. Today we did the 6 to 7 mile interval workout that I talked about. Tomorrow we'll do a 4 to 6 mile easy run. Thursday, 4 to 6 mile easy run. And then Friday is going to be consisting of 8 miles with a 2 mile warm up, and then 2 by 2 miles at a half marathon pace, and 3 minutes easy jog in between with a 2 mile cool down. And then Friday we're going to do a 4 to 6 mile easy run. And then Sunday is a long run of 12 to 14 miles consisting of 6 to 7 miles easy, and then 10 times 1 minute pace at 1 minute at a 5K pace, and then 1 minute at a marathon pace, and then 2 to 3 miles easy for the cool down. So that's kind of what I'm going to be following. I'm also going to be referencing a Runner's World training plan for a sub 3 hour. Runner's World follows a little bit more of a different philosophy, I would say, or at least this training plan does. It's less off of distance and more so off of time. So for example, you're not going to be doing a 3 to 4 mile run. You're going to be doing a 30 to 40 minute run. And sometimes mentally, I like to do the time run rather than the distance run. Sometimes I like to say, okay, I'm going to go out there for 50 minutes and I'm just going to run for 50 minutes, 25 out, 25 back, and that's that. So I may reference that some and bounce back and forth, but if I do that, I'll reference that in the video. So total mileage for the week, if I do the minimum of all those runs, is 38 miles. Maximum mileage for the week, if I do the top end of all those runs, is 46. So I'll be somewhere in the middle of that. And that is going to be the first week of this marathon prep. So looking forward to taking you guys along. Hello. Checking back in. It is Thursday. So didn't film anything yesterday. It was just a 4 mile easy run and nothing too crazy going on. It was a busy day yesterday. Wednesdays are always a go day for me. So I'm always rushing from one spot to the next. So checking in on this Thursday, it is 7:15 p.m. I actually just got home from work. So longer day at the office. But I'm about to just crank out an easy 4 mile run. Nothing too crazy going on. And then tomorrow morning, I'm going to try to knock out an 8 mile run in the morning before work. It's definitely good for me to realize that like this is a busy week for me to start my marathon training. So I guess it's just all things being thrown at me at once, but probably should have thought this through a little bit more, but hey, it's gonna be fun. So I'll see you guys on the run. All right, guys, just wrapped up a 4 mile run, 9:39 minute per mile pace. It was a good one. This is probably the latest I've run in a long time. I don't really ever run later than 5, so it's almost 8 o'clock now. I've honestly just forgotten like how good it feels to run this late. So enjoyed it overall. Good run. Fuel for this morning run consists of 1 goo packet. I'm going to take about 30 minutes into the run. Munching on some soft and juicy mango right now. And then pink sea salt in my water because I don't have any flavored electrolytes right now. So that's what we're rocking with. Wondering why it looks like we're in a hoarder home. That'd be because about 2 days ago, Allie's clothing rack that we hang our clothes on just snapped. So we came home, all the clothes were on the floor. So need to fix that. But for now, this is our temporary closet. Miles complete, 8:52 minute per mile pace. Okay, checking back in. This is the final run of the first week of marathon training. It's Sunday. Not gonna lie, I feel like this run is a little bit daunting. I haven't done a long run in a while, so I'm like 12 miles of running is, whew, I haven't done that in a minute. But we're gonna go do it. I just wrapped up Sunday long run. Ended up doing 10 miles instead of 12 miles. If you can't tell by my red in the face look, it was hot. A lot hotter than I thought it was gonna be. So 10 miles, 9:43 minute per mile pace. It's 82 degrees outside right now. It's by far the hottest it's been since I started running again this year. So that's probably the hottest run I've done since, fall last year. So definitely not used to the heat. Felt like I was baking alive out there, but it was good. The workout was 6 miles, or it was supposed to be start with 6 miles and then do 10 sets of 1 minute of marathon, or 1 minute of 5K pace, 1 minute of marathon pace, run it back 10 times, and then 2 mile cool down. So I did that, but the 10 sets of intervals, I ended up doing like the first minute just honestly as fast as I could go, which wasn't very fast. Probably like 7:45 to 8:15, 8:30, somewhere in that range. And then the next minute I just kind of cooled off because my heart rate was so high. It was like 180 something when I was running fast. But yeah, that's the Sunday run. About to go over to the little corner market and get a hydrating drink. And then we'll wrap up this video.